Hey there.
Let's create a connection and enjoy the ride. Come join us here at Open Minds.
Hello everybody, welcome to another Open Minds video lesson. I am teacher Morgan, and in this lesson we are looking at relative pronouns who, which, that, whose, and whom. And we're going to be looking at the difference between these pronouns. Let's begin with which. So we use which for animals and things. We use which for defining and non-defining relative clauses. Let's have a look at some examples of defining and non-defining relative clauses. So an example of a defining relative clause is, you need to take the road which is open. This is defining because which is open describes how the road is. It is open. It's an open road. Let's have a look at a non-defining relative clause. He doesn't need long to prepare for the exam, which is tomorrow morning. This is non-defining because which is tomorrow morning does not tell you how the exam is. It does not describe the exam. Let's have a look at that. Now, that is more informal than who, whom, or which. So probably when we use that, we can also use who, whom, or which, but that is more common in spoken English because it is more informal. We can use that to introduce a defining clause only, so not a non-defining clause. We can use that for people, animals, and things. Here is an example with that. The 10 o'clock bus is the bus that you need to take. Another example with that. We met someone yesterday that is studying architecture like you. So it is defining, and it could probably be replaced with who for a more formal sentence. Okay, we use who in a sentence when we need to refer to a person. Sometimes animals, but not often, usually only people. We can use who to introduce defining and non-defining relative clauses. Let's have a look at an example. English lessons are very good for students who speak English as a second language. Let's have a look at whom. Whom. When do we use whom? Whom is almost exactly the same as who, but it is more formal. So usually we use whom when we are writing, not so much speaking. Okay, we can use whom instead of who when who is the object of a sentence, and it is commonly used with prepositions. English lessons are very good for students for whom English is their second language. Now, this example is exactly the same as the last example that I showed you, but we've changed the sentence to put the preposition for next to whom to make it a more formal sentence. So something like this would be something that you would see in writing, not speaking. Whose. Whose is used to indicate a possession for animals or people. We can use whose before nouns instead of a possessive expression, for example, my, your, his, her, it's, out, there, in defining and non-defining clauses. What? Let's have a look at some examples. I know a girl whose sister moved to Australia. So in this example, whose sister is the possession of the girl. So it's her sister. We are replacing her in this example. So remember that whose is for possessions. Okay guys, that's it for today's lesson. I hope you have enjoyed speaking about relative pronouns, and I hope I will see you guys in another lesson. Bye!